Buyer personas are a major component of any effective inbound marketing strategy. The truth is, you have to know who you're marketing and selling to before you can make a sale. We can say the word buyer persona as many times as we want, but they are not going to do much for you if you don't know how to create or define one. That's why we've put together this step-by-step guide to defining your buyer persona. Let's get started. What is a buyer persona? It is a fictional representation of your ideal client or target audience. With a clear picture of who you're marketing to, it's much easier to develop effective, targeted content that speaks to your ideal buyer's goals and challenges. Creating your buyer personas in 5 steps. Step number 1, research your buyer personas. All great personas start with a little bit of research. Even if you feel like you already have a pretty good grasp on who most of your clients are, it's worth it to take a hard look, not just at who you're already working with, but who you'd like to work with in the future. Who is buying from you? It's always easiest to start with what you know. Begin your research by taking a look at your existing clients. Here are a few questions to get you started, but there are a few other tactics you might consider when doing buyer persona research. Talk to customer-facing employees. Talk to your clients. Who would you like to buy from you? Where is your competition seeing success? Where do you want your company to grow? Check out your own analytics. Step number 2, segment your buyer personas. Organize your information. Start looking for similarities in the goals and challenges you've uncovered in your research. Decide how many buyer personas you'll have. Now that you've reviewed and organized your research, you can start to determine how many buyer personas you'll actually define. Segment buyer personas by industry. Some companies work with clients in a variety of industries. In a situation where you sell a variety of products, each corresponding to a different industry, it might make sense to dedicate one buyer persona to each industry you serve. Buyer personas by job title. Clients in each of those industries are fundamentally different. They approach finding a marketing partner in the same way. So, we've segmented our buyer personas to align with the job titles our sales process touches. Step number 3, create a name and a story for your buyer persona. You've completed your research, and you've decided which buyer personas to start with. Pick one, and let's get writing. Everyone writes differently, so do what works for you. Here's what that process might look like. Who is your buyer persona? Start by giving your buyer persona a name. The point of defining buyer personas at all is to help you market and sell more personally. Giving your buyer personas names makes it personal. Once you've got a name in mind, start writing down everything you discovered in your research. When it comes to buyer personas, more information is always better. Challenge yourself to a free write. Step number 4, focus on roles, goals, and challenges. We're going to take a close look at the narrative you've just created, and pull out the most relevant parts for your sales and marketing teams going forwards. That info falls into 3 categories: roles, goals, and challenges. Roles. Take a look at that narrative, and pull out the information that's related to their roles. When you know what a person does, and what roles they play in their life, you can create content that speaks to those specific roles. Goals. Pull out all of the goals you identified in your buyer persona free write, and organize them into a goals section. When your team understands what a persona is trying to achieve, they'll be able to better tailor their methods and strategies in a way that resonates with that persona. Challenges. The challenges section of a buyer persona is the most important. This is where you identify the pain points of each buyer persona. The more challenges you can identify for each persona, the more opportunities you have to deliver solutions. Step number 5, use your buyer personas to craft tailored digital marketing and sales strategies. When you know who your buyer personas are, and are familiar with their roles, goals, and challenges, you can develop sales and marketing strategies tailored to just those people who you know are excellent fits for your company. You've gone to all the trouble to make these buyer personas, now is the time to use them. Create ad campaigns that correspond to each persona's favorite platform. Develop content that speaks to the specific pain points and challenges. Take stock of your existing content. Optimize your landing pages to speak to buyer personas, and in their language. So here are the 5 steps of creating your buyer personas. If you like this video, sure to give a thumbs up.